What we're working on here is doing a replacement of the valve cover gasket on a 2002 Saturn SC2. So what I've done here is already removed the clips that hold the spark plug wires in, and just taken and twisted those and then pulled up on them, pop those out. Just going to lay them over to the side, and then taking the old plugs out as well. See, they're pretty dirty. What I'm going to do next here is disconnect the EGR valve, and then we're going to move on and remove some of these bolts around the top. You can see here, I've already got the line disconnected. Just went right down here, took a flathead, just got behind it and just slid it right off. So it's loose. See, it connects and goes across here and runs down here on the other side. So what I've done here is there's little clips here that hold this line on. Take a flathead there again and just put it in there. These pop up. You can take these little clips out all the way back. This here is providing, the oil coming down in from the pump. Just slides out. There's a rubber grommet here we're going to replace from the kit. Let's see. And then this here is going over to the breather. So they connected up right over here. Just slid that right off. Check all the hoses and everything while you're at it. See if anything's cracked, needs to be replaced. And then we're going to remove these bolts using an extension to make it easier. Let's see, that was actually a 10mm socket that I'm using for that. I'm just going to take and unscrew that. I'm just going to go around and do that on all of them. Something to take note of, you've also got these, let me see the light. I've also got down in here, these bolts here, they all have to be loosened. You'll need a deep well socket for this particular one here. And all these that come out, they're just loose. Just wiggle this. That one's loose. They all kind of stay attached to the valve cover all the way around, and then don't forget up under the plastic things here that held down your little vacuum hose right there. You screw these off. There's a bolt under there as well, so that has to come off also. After just a little bit of shaking and just jostle a little bit the valve cover, it should slide right off, and you're left with the you can see the cams and everything. It's actually pretty nice to be able to see all that. And just take a look at things, see if anything looks really worn, broken down, anything like that. You notice, at least on this one, there was some RTV here, and on the other corner over there, just to kind of hold the gasket in place. So I'm going to be putting some of that back. Got a tube of just some blue RTV there. See, this is the inside of the valve cover. So the kit I got also got some replacement for around the spark plugs. So that just pulls off. Of course, I've already pulled it off. It was holding it a little better than that. But that's replacement, and some other pieces. So let me go get the kit and see what we got to do. Also got some carburetor cleaner I want to use. Clean around here, and also on the engine. Make sure there's a clean surface for it to connect to. So what wound up here is replacement gasket itself. The one I was showing you for it goes around the spark plugs, and then also got all the ones that go around the screws, bolts. Let's just start going through and I'll pull off the old ones off here, clean everything up, and then start reassembly. When you get ready to install your little rubber seals around the bolts, just take a flathead screwdriver. Let's see if we can see this better. Place it between the washer and the rubber piece, and then just push and it'll pop right out. This piece you'll be replacing. You can see here, gone through it and thoroughly cleaned up around everywhere with the carburetor cleaner. Make sure the surface here has no oil residue or anything like that on it, so you get nice and shiny and clean. We'll have good contact with the new gasket there. Start get things back together. The gasket you put in, just go ahead and put it into your valve cover. And what you're going to do is start on this end here, down on this end here, go ahead and lay it in. Just work it in. You know, put the lip side, here's the old one, lip side down into the notch, and just start working it. You know, just take and work it around like that. Make sure you got a good seal all the way around. One thing you're going to notice if you just try to just set it down in there is you'll seem like you've got some bunching, but really it'll fit. You just got to loosely lay it over all the grooves. So loosely lay it over the whole thing, and then work it around, starting from this end and work back this way, and that'll get it seated good. And just go all the way around. Make sure it's seated real good. Same thing for these. Make sure you work it back and forth, all the rubber and everything. Make sure you got a good seal all the way around. And then it's good just take a rag and wipe it off when you get done. So I've got this one pretty much ready. The sealer you're going to put on there is going to be in these spots here. That's where, if you look close, where the block bolts together right here. So it's just to kind of give a little extra seal. So if you pulled your old one off, you'll notice you probably had some right there and right there. So that's where we're going to dab some on there, and then just set the valve cover on and start tightening things down. Now it's important that when you do tighten it down, that you tighten it down in the right order. There is an order in the Haynes manual that kind of explains what order to go through. I'll write it out on my blog when I get done. You see here too, went through and took all those old bolts and replaced the rubber on those. So I'm going to put those back in the valve cover too before I set it down in there. And here is the finished result. Everything back in place. See, these are blue, but I think they add a little bit of nice touch to things. See down in here too, we've placed all those. Put new spark plugs in it as well at the same time. So overall, not too bad of a project, and certainly rather enjoyable compared to other things.